Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Betrayal at Krondor. In our last episode, the party traveled south to the town of Silden, following clues in the hopes of unraveling the mystery behind the spyglass and the spider that had been left behind when the king's men were murdered in the town of Romney. We discovered that Mitchell Waylander had been using the magic of the town of Prankstone to rob people of interesting items with the help of an accomplice, a book. One such item was the brass spyglass, which had been owned by a man Mitchell had encountered in that town, a man who was almost certainly one of the insidious Nighthawks. Visiting the box where missing items materialize, we also found a note that had been owned by that man. Let's look in James's inventory. He's holding that note right now. This is a note that was owned by the man who was probably one of the Nighthawks involved in the murder. Given to Attentive of Caval Keep the quantity of 500 rubies and 200 golden sovereigns, totaling a value not in excess of 20,200 sovereigns. That is a lot of money that was paid off to someone in Caval Keep, obviously related to Nighthawk business. That's certainly some sort of lead. Caval Keep is going to have to be somewhere that we're going to go. Let's take a look at our map. We're down here at Silden. Just to the north, we've been this way before, of course, is Sloop and then Romney. But if we continue further north, we will reach the town of Prankstone, where that stone is, that apparently if you approach it too closely, they go missing. Items you're holding go missing and end up down at that box where we are. And then even further to the north of Prankstone is Caval Keep. That's going to be our next destination. We need to continue following these leads. Before we do that, however, I want to make one quick side trip back down to the west and then to the south to Krondor, because we heard some rumors of some shady goings-on, some, again, related to the Nighthawks, and just in case this is a threat to the prince, we want to follow up on that. It seems that there might have been an attack on the Upright Man as well. All right, so let's go ahead and head to the west. We'll keep following the road. We've been part of the way here already when we went back to meet a book, and so we know that there were no enemies between us and there. But we will keep an eye out just in case we see any other enemies along the road. I'm hoping that most of that Nighthawk activity is relegated to that up to the north of us, to the coast near Caval Keep and Sloop and Romney and all of that. But it doesn't hurt to remain careful, to be vigilant, as it were. Here's the town of Lytton, and I'd like to make one quick stop here. Let's go to the inn here in Lytton. And the reason for that is, let's take a look at our inventory again. James only has 3 food left. Owen has 7. Let's go ahead and give that all to James. And Gorath only has 5. That's not a lot of food, and we could very quickly run out. And once we run out of food, as we're camping, I believe at midnight, if you do not have food, you will lose hit points. So let's go ahead and buy some more food for everybody, some rations. James currently has a full stack of 14. We'll give another 14 to Owen. And Gorath can't fit 14 because he only has 1. I don't believe we can sell off the excess rations, but what we can do is we can buy... We won't be able to buy 14, but we can buy him 7. And that's enough for now. That way we're not in danger of imminent starvation. Alright, we'll continue along the road here. This should rejoin the main road right up here, and we will continue to the west and to the south. We should be coming up on the town of Malek's Cross before too much longer. And before that, I believe, we will run into the infamous Oracle of All again. Maybe we should pay another visit to that oracle to see if there's any new information for us. I believe this is the path that will take us to the Oracle. The name on the signpost had long worn away. Oh, wait a minute. I believe I see enemies ahead. Well, we know what to do. Let's try to get a surprise attack if we can. The enemy was not surprised. Unsure how best to deal with the situation, James shot a glance at Owen, but was startled by the look of malignant hate in his eyes. These creatures resemble serpent men. I would have every last one of them dead. You may get your wish, James replied, assuming they don't kill us first. Serpent men? Well, this is new. And they're attacking Gorath with some sort of spell. For 105 damage. And then the other one cast a spell freezing Gorath in place. Looks like we're not going to have any help from Gorath in this battle. It's only up to James and Owen here. Alright, well for just a moment, let's go ahead and try to close with this one so we can't cast anymore. Can we get closer to this one though? Yes, if I can get right up to this one, I can't attack him this turn, but I can stop him from casting. And Owen should be able to get up close to this one. That prevents them from casting spells this next turn. Alright, now James can rush in and attack this one directly. Now Serpent Men, as if you've read the Midkemia books, let me just try to get Owen in here. He can't get close enough to stop that one from casting, so we're going to have to use a spell on him. Sorry, what I was saying was Serpent Men, if you've read the Midkemia books, were servants of one of the Valhiru. And in fact, they have been trying, they are a cult that are trying to bring their Valhiru master back. They were behind all of the struggle and conflict dealing with the former invasion of the kingdom that happened in the books Silverthorn and the Darkness of Sethanon. Serpent priests in disguise as Moradel were behind that in the first place. And we'll probably learn a lot more about that as this game goes on as well. For now, though, let's go ahead and try to attack this enemy. What do we have? I have Steel Fire. Causes a blade to do extra damage. That's not going to really help us right now. I can use Fetters of Rime, which will freeze the opponent. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's cast a pretty powerful version of that on this guy right here. A 69% chance of working. And it hit him. Did 30 damage and froze him. Alright, James, continue your attack on this one. And I'm going to move Owen up here, so we'll be ready on a future turn to attack him. And the first Pantathian is down. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. And with him frozen, it should be quick work. Yes, these Pantathian Serpent Priests are dangerous, and I wonder what they're doing here in the kingdom. I wonder if they're related to what's going on now. Again, they were related to the last time we had a Moradel invasion. I wonder if they're related to this one as well. Let's take a look at the bodies. I'm not sure what we can carry, because once again, we are pretty full in terms of our inventory. Let's sharpen James's sword, and looks like he didn't take any hits, so that's good. Gorath did, however. And I'd like to take a look at Gorath's hit points when we're done with all of this. The fluid within the flask, this is Potion Noxum, was a clotted mass tinged a phlegmy color that looked neither healthy nor appealing. And if the center of the cork was anything similar to the actual aroma of the concoction within, he had no desire to open the bottle. Yet, if he were attacked, it might be useful to distract an otherwise troublesome opponent. Okay, so this might be something that we can throw at an opponent, perhaps? I'm not certain. What about the other body? Just some more gold and another one of these. I don't think we have any room for this. This could bless our weapons, the clerical oilcloth. Alright, we'll just leave all this behind. We're not even going to bother trying to sharpen any of it. Let's go ahead and visit the dragon statue that is the Oracle of All. And once again, Owen will visit the Oracle in spirit. The Oracle awaits you. What question would you pose? And we can now ask the Oracle about the murder. A murder took place in Romney, and we're seeking the murderer. We need his name. Though you believe you seek a name, it is not what you truly wish to know. As you have surmised, the two objects which you discovered are clues to murders, though one indicates a murder you may not have realized has taken place. Which object will lead us to what we're looking for? The brass spyglass will guide you in your path. Ask after it, and the way to your destination will become known. Well, we've already pretty much figured that out. That's why we're going to be going to Cavil Keep soon. Okay, so that leaves us with perhaps even more unanswered questions. Let's take a look at Gorath's hit points really fast. He's not in very good shape. Let's go ahead and rest all the way to the next morning. I don't believe he has a... I want to use this healing thing on Gorath if that's something I can do. Let's drop this horn off for just a moment. We'll give this to Gorath. We'll go ahead and use it. Give it back to Owen. And Owen will go ahead and use it as well. And then we'll take the horn back. Then we'll rest for the night, and that should give us some hit points back. Alright, we're not back to full, but we're better than we were. We'll continue walking back to the main road. And it's a good thing we went ahead and bought that food when we did, because at this point we'd be running out. We'd be running very low on our supplies. There's Malek's Cross. Let's go ahead and... We'll continue following... We'll just continue following the road here. Night's falling once again. Our rations are okay. And now Gorath's in much better shape. If we do end up getting into a battle, we should be okay. This is the town of Darkmoor, which I believe is the last town just before we reach Krondor. There we go. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I accidentally clicked no. That was the wrong thing to click. I was trying to click on the map there. I apologize. All right, let's keep heading west here. We are going the wrong way. All right, what we want to do is we want to head to the south here so we can actually head to the town of Krondor. I'm just going to go ahead and use this map view because it's so easy to get turned around here. There we go. Alright, so now that we're here at Krondor, there was some issue that we heard that might be related to the upright man down in the sewers. So let's go ahead and head into the sewers and see what we can find in there. We'll have Owen light a torch really quickly so we can see where we're going. A figure moved in the tunnel. Seemingly having appeared from nowhere, a young boy halted them before they could move any further ahead. It's Lim again. You'll have to be about your business elsewhere, blokes. I'm not to let so much as a gnat pass me tonight, or any night soon, or for any amount of money. The Thieves' Highway's closed. What? Not even for a tax? Something fairly serious must have happened down here. If you're any friend of the Mockers, you'll understand what I mean when I tell you it's a matter of family business. Meeting at Mocker's Rest. The Upright Man? You haven't heard it from my lips. I'm just a night watch, and a stupid one at that. I understand. Who do you think was responsible? Same one as clapped hands on you a few months back. Whoever it was must have had a hand on the inside. The Upright Man was poisoned. In the rest, they're calling him the Crawler. Still don't know what exactly he hopes to gain. We'd never submit to him after all he's done to us. Sooner see him dead than in charge of things. Alright, we can ask him some questions. Let's talk to him about Sildon. We spoke to Lyle Rigger, and he told me to tell you that he's confirmed the Upright Man's suspicions, but he says that the crawler is not Jacko Radburn. That at least's a relief. Leastways we know where they're coming from for sure now. Did he tell you anything else? He said something about a reward? I'll give you the seal he asked for. Of course, if you ask me, it's a piddling price for it. Me, myself, I don't think I would have asked for anything less than a shiner, and a good quality one at that. What about keys? How many keys do you have in your ring? Good thief don't need 'em. I knows when somebody left a shutter on the spring or a door off the latch. Got a keen eye. I'm all the better without having to depend on them as I see it. I'm probably the best thief what the Upright Man's ever seen, and I know I'm already the quietest. Is that so? How interesting. Well, would you know how to get a hold of Yellow Bill? Perhaps he could sell us a few keys. Bill? What are you talking about, old Bill? He got done down not more than a month ago by the rogue sent by the crawler. A pity. He was a good man in his own way. Who else could we get keys from? I have a key. I thought you said good thieves don't need them. I didn't need it. I just happen to have one at the moment. Found it near the dead body of someone dressed like a death gilder. He was an ugly bloke, but then again with half his head smashed in. Spare me the details, please. How much do you want for the Nighthawk key? It's just for nothing. I don't like carrying it about, and I don't want him to bring bad luck on it myself. Take it. Don't ever say Lim never did nothing for you. Okay, so we ended up with a Nighthawk key. That's interesting. Alright, what about the Upright Man? What's going on here? Are you certain the Upright Man is dead? So the Nightmaster says. He used to have an amulet that he kept for good luck. Does anybody know what became of it? Need a bit of extra good luck, eh? But who doesn't? So happens I got the amulet. The Nightmaster slipped it to me after I saved his behind from a pair of the crawler's toughs. He didn't think it was worth too much, but I thought I knew different. 300 sovereigns and it's yours. How's that strike you? That's a lot of money. We'll think about that. For now, no. It strikes me badly. No deal. Your loss, Lord. It's a fine piece if ever I've laid two eyes on anything, but a body's always got the right to say no, eh? That's what the Great Freedom's all about, isn't it? What about, items? Have you taken anything off the men who are poisoning his mockers? They're not much for carrying treasure, but yeah, I found a few nice bits. Tumbled a corpse I found near the sea gate just this morning. If the price is right, I might be interested in buying the booty from you. That's so, well then my price is 100 gold. 100 gold? You said they don't carry anything of any value. Seems it's of value to you, and I say it's worth 100 sovereigns if it's worth a pence. Deal? Again, well, I gotta see how much money we have. It's too much to ask, but I'm not sure what you have. Sorry. Going to take it safe then, pity, and it felt like a nice load. We might come back for that in a little bit. What about the locked door? I've heard there's a portcullis down here that none of the mockers can open. We saw that in a previous episode. Can't pick it, can't break the lock. Is it true? Might be pigs can fly, who's to say? Why are you interested? You're no son of the sewers. How'd you hear about it anyways? See, I think they don't realize that James used to be Jimmy the Hand and is a much better thief than Lim is. Let's just say I'm a friend of the family. I was just wondering if anyone ever found a key for it. Isn't no key I know of, at least not one's a body snitched about. If you want my opinion, there's nobody what can get the Eternity Gate open. Impossible. And lastly, we can ask him about stealth. You say you're the quietest thief in Krondor. Prove it. Why should I? We have business that may require great stealth on our part, and some of us could use instruction. Would you be willing to teach us what you know? For the right price, I'll steal the crown right off the prince's head. It'll be half a day before we even know it's gone. Sounds interesting. How about 120 sovereigns? That sound reasonable to you? Again, we're gonna wait. It's not an unreasonable sum, but I think I'll pass on it at the moment. Shame, really. You could use the lesson. I could hear you coming quite a ways before you got to me. Alright, let's leave for a moment. We're gonna go into the town and sell off our items and see how much money we have. Oh, they were just saying goodbye, sorry. And to you, watch of the crawlers men don't do you in as well. Alright, let's go ahead and, we can't carry what we were given here. This is the reward for Lyle Rigger, another Glazier's Guild seal. I think we already gave him one of those. In fact, yeah, we're holding one of those. We don't need another Glazier's Guild seal. Alright. go ahead and get out of here, and let's head into the town. And we'll go sell off our items. So that's interesting. That confirms our suspicions. The crawler did send someone into the sewers and apparently poisoned the upright man. That's going to be a huge disruption in what's going on, because the Guild of Thieves down there in the sewers is a major part of the economy and what's going on in the town of Krondor. I don't think I can sell my weapons here. I need to go to a different shop. Here we go. Alright, I'm going to hang on to this tape here, this Christian tape here. Let's sell off all this extra armor, though. Let's sell off a lot of this extra just nonsense. It's worth a lot of money, and look at how much money we have. I think we're going to go ahead and take Lim up on his offer. I'm going to hang on to this tuning fork. All these potions. We are not wanting for money at all, so I say we go ahead and sell what we have. Use, rather, what we have. We'll hang on to this horn. That could be used in a very difficult battle for us. And these books, we can use these books to get better at some of our skills. So let's hang on to those, but I'm going to have Owen carry them. That's good for now. There is a repair shop here. Let's see if it's worth repairing our weapons and armor. How much do they want that? 25, I'll go ahead and repair that back up to 100. Another 20 for that one. 25 for that one. Only 4 to finish that one off. And 3 for that. Now everybody's stuff's back up to 100. Lastly, let's go ahead and visit this other shop here. Do they have anything worth buying? I'm not sure what a key of lineages is, but we may, if we run into any strange locks, we'll come back for that. All right, let's go talk to Lim one more time and go ahead and purchase what he has to sell. We're not hurting for money at all, so it is worth purchasing what he has. I'm not going to bother lighting a torch. We'll just walk ahead until we can meet him. Until I receive word this gate can open again, you can't enter the sewers. Sorry, senor. Now please be off with you. Presently, I'm not so much interested in the sewers as I am in what's between your ears. I'd like to ask you a few questions if I could. Pick your brain. Can't see any harm in it, so long as you're not trying to trick your way past. What do you want to know? Alright, so let's talk about those items. And that was 100 gold, so we'll go ahead and spend it. Alright, what about those stealth lessons? For another 120, let's do some lessons in stealth. The thief nodded. Dropping to a crouch, he pointed down the length of the tunnel and instructed Owen to walk away and then return. Common problem, you're coming down too much on your heels, Lim said, watching as his pupil reappeared from the darkness. Grabbing Owen's foot, he pivoted it so that it rocked from side to side rather than rear to front. Imagine your feet are like waves. You have to let them roll, down on the outside, then roll to the center. Now go down and back. We'll keep this up till you have it. After a few more trials, Owen began to catch on to the technique. And astonishing how much of a difference it makes. Astonishing how much of a difference it makes. I could barely hear myself. That's it then, Lim said with a smile, taking his feet. I've got to get back to my guard duty. We can still chat a bit if you like. Alright, and then as for the upright man, I believe there was a amulet that he had. How much did he want for that? 300. Well, let's take it and take a look at it. Where it hurts, that's where it strikes me. Alright, I'll take the amulet. Done! Believe you me, you won't be disappointed. We need to be moving on now, Lim. Thanks once again for your help. Such help as it was, but you're welcome to it. Good day, lords. And to you. Watch the crawlers men don't do you in as well. Alright, so our stats have probably increased, the party's stealth ability. James' stealth's up to 63%. His health and stamina have also increased in the meantime. Owen's up to 43, also with health and stamina. And Gorath has a 75% stealth. That's surprising. You wouldn't expect our big tank to have such a good stealth score, but he's apparently the stealthiest one among us. Let's look at our items now. So there's a new note. I am uninterested in your difficulties with the Guild of Thieves under Krondor. It was your responsibility to deal with them, and your special training should give you more than an adequate advantage over those common thieves. You are to locate the Amulet of the Upright Man and the Idol of Lasseur and load them aboard the Nightcrawler immediately. We have pressing business with our serpentine clients in the Sunset Isles, and I don't believe they will be patient while I tell them about the incompetence of my hirelings. The Crawler. Alright, so the Crawler was interested in that amulet owned by the Upright Man, as well as some idol called the Idol of Lasseur. And then I guess he left for the Sunset Isles, and this is confirmation that he's working with those Pantathians. That's really strange. Looking at all the different items we have, and this must be that amulet here. Owen looked at the medallion skeptically. In Krondor, similar amulets were sold as fool's trinkets, ornaments that seemed in all respects like true gold, but were clever fakes run up by unscrupulous magicians. Checking the reverse side, he noted an inscription to Banath, the god of luck and of thieves. Here's this amulet of the Upright Man, and Owen's using it. More info, it can affect the player's statistics. I'm curious as to what statistics it's affecting. Let's look at James. Let's hand this note off to Owen. James's lockpick, just looking at these skills here, 68, 68, 44, 63. His lockpicking jumped. 46, 35, 44. So no, it definitely affects lockpick. I don't think it affects anything else. No, it doesn't appear to, but it really affects lockpicking. I believe James is our strongest lockpicker, so we'll leave it in James's possession for now, so we can really lockpick anything we want to. Interesting. All right, let's head back out of here. And lastly, since we're here in Krondor, let's go into the palace. The gate master let them in, so the gate's working now. Announcing the small party, he escorted them inside the enclosure of the Krondorian palace. The majesty of the palace was impressive, drawing appreciative glances of astonishment from all as they wound through room after room of banquet halls, reception areas, and at last a colorfully decorated gymnasium before entering the throne chambers of the Prince of Krondor. And here is, once again, Pug's wife, Katala. James! Senior James at your disposal, lady. I'm sorry if I've interrupted you. No, actually I'm quite pleased to have you here, James. Things around the palace have become very peculiar. Prince Arutha hasn't held court in weeks, and Pug has been locking himself up with Makala and our daughter Gamina, discussing who knows what. And you feel left out of the circle, is that it? I suppose I have been privileged, spoiled even in the past, because he's entrusted me with whatever he was thinking. He's shown me things I could never have imagined, and yet now he's hiding something from me. At some level, I'm almost inclined to think that something is frightening him. Frightening Pug? Gods, I don't like the sound of that. May I speak to him? I wish you could, but he's gone to our academy at Stardock. I don't know when he plans to return. To make matters worse, when I went to see Prince Arutha, he sent word that he couldn't speak to me because he was busy with matters of state. That's not at all like him. No, it isn't. But I have a few suspicions about what this may all mean. First, there are a few things I need to know. I'm at your service. Let's ask about news. Has anything happened in Krondor since I left, or has the whole town closed up of boredom waiting for me to return? Nothing unusual, really. The most exciting thing I've heard is that there appears to be an outbreak of Quagian fever in some of the ports. But they don't expect things will get too serious. The priests from the Temple of Sung have sent men down to the docks to deal with any cases that show up here, and the palace guards have been advised to keep a lookout for anyone who seems to be suffering from delusions. They think it will be contained in the areas north of Krondor. What about the message? Do you think you could deliver a message to Prince Arutha for me? I can certainly try. What is it? Just tell him that we haven't reached the Black Sheep Tavern in Romney as yet, but I will send word to him as soon as I can. Okay, so apparently this will be if we had returned to the palace and spoken with her, we could have told her this before we went to the tavern. I don't think that will be too much of a problem. I'll see he gets it as soon as he returns. But now we can talk to her about the murder because we also did reach the town. If Prince Arutha isn't here, then he must have already begun. Begun what? Sorry, I was thinking aloud. If you would, do you think you could tell him something for me? It's fairly important that he hear it. What is the message? Tell him that the party in Romney was cancelled because our host took ill, and now we're looking for his pet parakeet that flew away. As soon as we find the perch, we will meet him for tea at Mother's. I'm not sure I understand. But the prince will. I don't mean to be mysterious, but it's better than that only we two know what is going on at the moment. Alright, so we gave her kind of a coded message to let the prince know what has happened. Alright, in the meantime, before we leave this place, we can go back into the room over here. We left all this behind last time. And there's no reason that we shouldn't just go sell it. I'm not going to bother with the crossbow quarrels. Or this shovel, but I am going to take this and use it on Gorath's crossbow. We'll do the same thing with James. Okay, that's fine. So we'll go put that back. We can combine that with the Dalatal milk that Owen already owns. Or maybe we can't. Yeah, there we go. Now it's up to 6. Good. Alright, we'll just very quickly sell off these last couple items that we have picked up here. Just get a few extra gold for it. Now we have an extra armorer's hammer, which is always useful. And that's it for now. Okay, it's nighttime, so let's rest till the morning. We're once again running a little bit low on food, so we will purchase more once we reach that tavern again. Let's make sure we're going the right way here. Now let's go ahead and cross over to this other road here. Okay. I believe we can probably buy some more food in Darkmoor, since we're here. Just have to find the inn. Alright, so let's take a look at our rations. James has 9. We'll give 2 more to Gorath here. So he has 14. Perfect. We'll buy another 14 for James. And then 7 for Owen. And that gives everybody exactly 14 rations. A full stack. And since we're here in a new chapter, let's try barding. Gave us another 27 sovereigns out of it. Owen's up to 49% barding, Gorath's up to 14, and James is up to 36. All right, back to the road. Let's continue our journey. So one last stop I'd like to make before we continue northward is I would like to stop back in Sildon again. They have a lot of good things for sale, and we have a lot of money at our disposal. And I think it's worth stocking up on some spells for Owen to use. There shouldn't be any enemies along the road here. We've already passed this way. Especially now that we've dealt with those Pantavian serpent guards. Or serpent priests, I believe they're called. Alright, night's falling again. I believe we're passing... Yep, there's the town of Lytton again. And now the road splits once again here. We're going to continue heading to the east now. That would take us back over near Sethanon, and that small town where we had to solve that haunting, if you may remember from a previous episode. Alright, we are coming up. Let's, again, sleep for the night. We should be coming up on Sildon any moment now. There we go. Alright, so here we have this magic shop. And we want to make sure we're purchasing spells that we don't already have. These are all very expensive, so let's see what there is. Dragon's Breath. Flame Cast, I believe we already have. Skyfire, I believe, is that lightning spell that we've seen occasionally. We have Hocho's Haven. We have Eyes of Ishap. Not sure what Night Fingers is. We have Skin of the Dragon, that's a wonderful spell. And Stardusk. We have Steelfire, but we don't have Skyfire. So let's get Skyfire. For now, let's get Skyfire. Let's see what that is. Can we haggle? Nope. Alright, there's one scroll. We already have Flame Cast. I'm not sure what Dragon's Breath is. It's pretty cheap. I'm going to try to have... James has a better haggling ability. Even he can't haggle. And let's see what Stardusk is. That's a nice cheap one as well. Alright, so let's get those 3 spells for now, and there's other spells that we might be able to get later. But these 3 might be useful to us. Let's see what they are. We're going to just learn all 3 of these spells really quickly. We're down to 300 gold, which is a lot less than we had, but, you know, it's still not a bad amount to have. Alright, so... we now have Skyfire, Skin of the Dragon. Okay, Dragon's Breath's down here. It's one that we can cast even during the day. Outside of battle, I meant to say. And Stardusk is also one we can cast during, outside of combat. So let's take a look at those. Okay, Stardust will cast light. It's a light spell that creates light above the ground. Dragon's Breath creates fog. That's interesting. All right, let's head back out of here and let's start heading north. We need to make it back to the town of Romney so that we can tell the Duke of Romney that we did speak with Mitchell, as well as Arlie Steelsoul, and that should have hopefully resolved the conflict going on there. I don't believe we should run into any other enemies between here and Romney, because we fought our way already through most of them. We'll go ahead and rest for the night once again. I believe this is going to be Sloop. Yep, there's the town of Sloop. We've been there already. Romney will be coming up very soon. Yep, we are just next to it. Just around this corner, I believe, after this last building here. And just in time for night to fall. We'll rest one more time. We'll have to buy more rations once we're in the town. All right, welcome back to Romney. Let's see if we can find the Duke. The sergeant-at-arms halted them. Putting his hand against James's chest, he shook his head. I'm sorry, but the Duke is... Abruptly, he halted as the Duke appeared behind him. It's all right, the Duke said. Let them in, Sergeant. I'm expecting these fellows. I'm expecting they've come to tell me they've convinced Arlie Steelsoul to come and help me out. Am I right? James confirmed the fact quickly, following the Duke into the deserted meeting hall. Seeing the benches had been removed from the room, he seated himself unceremoniously on the table edge while Gorath and Owen stood by the door. Before I forget, your reward, the Duke said, opening a chest in the corner of the room. Sorting through what looked like torn table linens and soiled writing clothes, he at last found a pouch and tossed it to James. Inside were several gold coins and a very valuable key. I keep my promises, he said. Now let's hope that Arlie does as well. I don't see why he wouldn't, James said, packing away the Duke's gift. He seemed honorable enough. He's in charge of a guild, the Duke replied. He has to sound honorable. In their own way, the guilds are more powerful than princedoms. You mark my words, one day the... Infeoft? One day the Infeoft of the kingdom will cross swords with the guilds, and it is not likely to be a bloodless affair. I think what's happened here is just a small taste of the things to come. Glum words, James replied. Do you think there will be more trouble here? Not for now. They've had enough of anarchy to do them a while, and Arlie's coming to negotiations should settle things a bit. After chatting a while longer, James glanced up at the darkening windows. It's getting late, and we have other business to attend to. Thank you for your services, gentlemen, the Duke said, escorting them to the door. If you're ever in Romney again, please feel free to drop by and visit again. All right. I don't think we have anything worth selling right now. I wish I could clear out James's inventory just a little bit, but honestly, it's all things we kind of need, although this... I'm wondering if we can get rid of this glacier shield eventually. Do we need to hang on to that? I don't think we do, but I'll hang on to it for a little bit longer. There's not really anything worth purchasing right now. Everybody's in pretty good shape. Let's go to the tavern and we'll stock up on some food. Food is much more reasonably priced now that the strikes and all the guild conflict is over. I'll just go ahead and buy 3 more 14s, and I'll have Gorath carry all of them. There we go. Will it let us bard? Nope. Unfortunately, it let us try, but we weren't good enough to satisfy this crowd. They kicked us out. Alright. Well, that's it for the town of Ramnia right now. Let's go ahead and head back out of the town. Alright. We are now back to where we left off. We have not been any further north than this. This is as far north as we've traveled so far. To the north of us now lie the towns of Prankstone, a little bit of a ways ahead. Looks like we crossed the river here, and then a little bit further up the river is going to be Cavil Keep, and that's our ultimate destination right now. That's where this spyglass is leading us. That's where we might find the answers to some of these mysteries as to who's behind the murder of the king's men, and how is that linked with what's going on with the Moradel invasion of the kingdom. And that's what we're going to be looking into next time. In our next episode, we're continuing our journey north to Cavil Keep. I'll see you then.